The opportunity came about through the Andy Talley Foundation. My football coach at UPenn had a relationship with Coach Talley through competing against one another for a number of years. And we had heard that Coach Talley had been running drives at the Villanova campus for some time where players and different students on campus would get swabbed. The opportunity came about through the Andy Talley Foundation. My football coach at UPenn had a relationship with Coach Talley through competing against one another for a number of years. And we had heard that Coach Talley had been running drives at the Villanova campus for some time where players and different students on campus would get swabbed, and their kind of biological data would be put into a lab, and people would be called on if needed. And so that came to Penn and our athletic department. And so we actually did a drive on campus where we tried to get, we were told to get like 5 to 10, we were asked really to get 5 to 10 friends. And we would, have them come to the drive, get their noses swabbed. And so that was sort of the genesis of this. And it wound up being a pretty awesome opportunity for me to wind up saving a life. It was a no-brainer. I've had a family history of leukemia and blood type disorders. And so I kind of thought, what if this was my brother or my father or my mother? What would I want someone else to say if they got matched with one of my family members? It was incredibly simple. It was really seamless process. I was able to do pretty much everything that I had been doing prior to receiving the medication. And then the day of, I went to the Hahnemann Hospital in Philadelphia and had an IV in one arm and one in the other, and it was cycling out my blood and filtering for the white blood cells, and then putting them back into putting the blood that they had taken out back into my other arm without the white blood cells. Very easy. The recovery was seamless. I didn't really feel any ill effects. I may have had a little site pain where the two IVs had gone into my arms, but there was really no recovery process. I felt pretty strong right away. Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't say that it's an everyday type of thing. There's certain moments where it's like, that was, I hope that person's doing all right. I remember this was a year or so after I'd graduated college, and I actually had gotten a letter, and it was from the person that received my bone marrow just saying thank you. It wasn't anything long, and so it was pretty cool to know that something that I had done directly was able to help save them and enable them to write that letter. Candidly, I don't think about it as some grand thing that I did. To me, it's something that it's just sort of like a civil duty. How would you feel if your loved one needed a stranger to help them? You would just expect the stranger to help. You wouldn't expect them to be, paid or to be forced to do it. It's virtually no cost. It's time. Is it to help save a life? I mean, I think the nurses and the doctors and those that are sort of on our front lines, dealing with the COVID crisis, right? Those are the people that should really be celebrated for the work that they're doing. And me, I'm just doing something that it's a golden rule: do to others what you expect to be done to yourself. My cousin had leukemia, and it came down to his brother being a match for him to have his life saved. And not every situation is like that. Not every family has the means or the ability to do that. When 4% of the 22 million people on the registry are Black, yet a significant percentage of those that require the stem cell donations or the bone marrow transplants are Black, that creates a significant imbalance, and it just puts us at a significant disadvantage to getting this treatment, and it's unacceptable, and it really takes a lot of outreach and kind of the message getting out that this is something that we can fix. Is at little to no cost to anyone that is donating, but for those that are receiving, it's quite literally the matter of life and death. OurRace matters. Be the cure.